Hey there, fellow citizens. Tonight we delve into the shadowy world of credit bureaus. These powerful entities wield immense influence over our financial lives, often with little transparency. They're like the bouncers of the financial world, deciding who gets in and who gets left out in the cold. Imagine this: you want to buy a house, a car, even rent an apartment. What's the first thing they check? Your credit score. This magical number, this digital thumbs up or thumbs down, is largely determined by these mysterious credit bureaus. But what are credit bureaus really? And how do they get the power to dictate our financial destinies? Buckle up, folks, because we're about to expose the inner workings of these data-hungry behemoths. Get ready to be outraged. Credit bureaus are essentially information vacuum cleaners, sucking up every bit of data about your financial life. They collect information from banks, credit card companies, landlords, even your local utility provider. Think about that for a second. Every late payment, every loan you've ever taken, every credit card you've ever used, it's all being tracked and compiled into a detailed financial dossier. And this dossier, my friends, is used to calculate your credit score. This score then becomes the ultimate judge of your financial trustworthiness. A good score can unlock lower interest rates, better loan terms, and even job opportunities. A bad score? Well, let's just say it can make your life a whole lot harder. The problem is, these bureaus aren't exactly known for their accuracy or their commitment to consumer protection. And that, my friends, is where things get really interesting. Here's the kicker. Credit bureaus are far from infallible. In fact, they're riddled with errors. Studies have shown that a significant percentage of credit reports contain inaccurate information. We're not talking about minor discrepancies here, folks. We're talking about wrong names, incorrect addresses, even debts that don't belong to you. These errors can have devastating consequences, as we'll see later. So, how do these errors happen? Well, for starters, credit bureaus are dealing with massive amounts of data. And let's face it, they're not exactly incentivized to be meticulous. They're businesses, after all, and accuracy isn't exactly their top priority. Add to that outdated technology, human error, and a general lack of oversight, and you have a recipe for disaster. Imagine this. You've always been responsible with your finances, paid your bills on time, and maintained a healthy credit history. Then, one day, you apply for a mortgage only to be rejected. Why? Because your credit report shows a string of missed payments, a collection account, maybe even a bankruptcy, except none of it is true. It's a case of mistaken identity, a clerical error, a glitch in the system. But good luck explaining that to the bank. You're stuck in a Kafkaesque nightmare, trying to prove your own financial innocence while your dreams of home ownership slip away. And this, my friends, is just one example of the real-life consequences of credit bureau errors. People have been denied jobs, apartments, and even car loans because of inaccurate information on their credit reports. It's enough to make you want to scream. Section 5. The case of the phantom debt. Let's talk about phantom debts. These are debts that never existed, debts that have been paid off but still haunt your credit report, debts that have been incorrectly attributed to you. Take the story of Sarah, a single mother who found herself battling a phantom debt. She received a notice from a collection agency demanding payment for a medical bill she had never incurred. Turns out it was a case of mistaken identity. But despite providing evidence, contacting the credit bureaus, and jumping through countless hoops, the phantom debt remained on her credit report, dragging down her score and making it impossible for her to secure a much-needed loan. Sarah's story is not an isolated incident. Countless consumers find themselves grappling with phantom debts, their credit scores held hostage by errors they didn't create. It's a system that seems designed to punish the innocent and line the pockets of, well, you know who. Section 6. Fee mania, extracting dollars from distress. Now let's talk about fees, because what would a system designed to exploit consumers be without a healthy dose of predatory fees? Credit bureaus and their partners in crime, the credit reporting agencies, have mastered the art of extracting dollars from consumers, often when they're most vulnerable. Want to dispute an error on your credit report? Be prepared to navigate a labyrinthine process filled with dead ends and frustrating delays, and even if you manage to get the error corrected, there's no guarantee that it won't reappear like a financial zombie. Need to access your credit report? Sure, you're entitled to a free copy every year. But good luck finding it on their websites, which are specifically designed to confuse and mislead. Oh, and if you accidentally click on the wrong link, be prepared to be bombarded with offers for credit monitoring services you don't need and can't afford. It's enough to make you long for the days of highway robbery. At least then you knew you were being robbed. Section 7, fighting back, reclaiming your creditworthiness. So what can you do if you find yourself at the mercy of these credit reporting behemoths? Well, the good news is that you're not powerless. You have rights and you have options. First and foremost, know your rights. You have the right to access your credit report from all three major credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian and TransUnion, for free once a year. You also have the right to dispute any inaccurate information on your credit report, and if you believe you've been the victim of identity theft, you have the right to place a fraud alert on your credit file. Don't be afraid to fight back. These credit bureaus rely on consumers' ignorance and apathy. The more we know about our rights, and the more we're willing to stand up for ourselves, the less power they have over us. Section 8. Safeguarding your score tips for a healthy credit life. Now, let's talk about some proactive steps you can take to safeguard your credit and protect yourself from the credit bureau blues. First, check your credit report regularly. Think of it like a financial checkup. You wouldn't wait years to see a doctor, would you? The same goes for your credit. Early detection is key when it comes to credit report errors. Second, be vigilant about your financial information. Shred sensitive documents, be wary of phishing scams, and keep a close eye on your bank and credit card statements. Third, if you do find yourself in a dispute with a credit bureau, document everything. Keep records of all correspondence, phone calls, and online interactions. And remember, you're not alone. There are consumer protection agencies and legal resources available to help you navigate the often overwhelming world of credit reporting. Section 9, conclusion, leveling the playing field. The credit reporting system as it stands is deeply flawed. It's a system that favors corporations over consumers, a system that profits from our mistakes and punishes us for errors we didn't make. But it doesn't have to be this way. We need greater transparency, stronger consumer protections, and real accountability for errors. It's time to level the playing field and create a system that works for everyone, not just the credit bureaus and their shareholders. Until then, stay informed, stay vigilant, and don't be afraid to fight back. Because when it comes to credit reporting, knowledge is power, and together we can demand a fairer system for all.